the meaning of sister city connections is just linked to cities and have the opportunity to mix two cultures.
Hey there, Albion. Are you ready to discover the hidden gems of our community? I'm Cassidy Porter, your host and proud Albion resident. Join me on Brick by Brick, the podcast that celebrates the people, places, and stories that make Albion so special. Together, we'll explore the rich history of our town, from its manufacturing roots to its vibrant present. We'll chat with local leaders, volunteers, and small business owners to learn more about the incredible work they're doing to make Albion a better place. So whether you're a lifelong resident or just visiting, tune in to Brick by Brick, and let's discover the heart and soul of Albion, one story or brick at a time. Welcome back to the Brick by Brick podcast. I'm your host, Cassidy Porter, and today I'm joined by Romain LaNoe, a visiting French intern at the Greater Albion Area Chamber of Commerce. Romain is here as part of the Sister City Committee and Connections and has been interning for almost a month, which is pretty exciting. So thank you for joining me today, Romain.
Welcome.
To start off a little bit different than our normal podcast, I'd love to know where you're from in France and how you ended up over here interning.
So I'm from Noisy, so the sister city of Albion.
Okay.
It's close to Versailles, so in France, close to Paris. And I have the luck to be in Albion because due to the sister committee, we can travel between those two sister cities, and that's why I'm here.
Awesome. So when did you first learn about the opportunity to do an internship or come to visit Albion?
So I was already my family was hosting other families.
Okay.
In my house, so Noisy. And that's why I'm.
Your family's pretty connected then.
My family is really connected, and we host like more than 10 Americans.
Okay.
So it's a big luck because I want to learn more about English and the USA culture. So that's why I'm here, and I'm really proud to be here because it was hard. We don't have a lot of opportunities to go over here because it costs a lot of money with plane tickets.
Oh yeah, yep.
So I'm really proud to be here, and it was maybe 2 years since I will need to be here. Yeah.
So it took like 2 years of planning then?
Yeah, 2 years of planning. Yeah,
wow.
Just to be here.
Wow.
But
and
my brother did it also 5 years ago already, at the same as me, so he was a bit younger, but it's fine. And an internship also. Not in the Albion Chamber of Commerce, but in the Farm to Fork events.
Okay.
So just more focused on farm.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool that your family's so connected. Has other parts of your family also visited?
No, only my brother. You know?
Okay. Do they plan to? Are
Maybe
hoping
yes.
to? Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome though.
When I came back, they will say, "Oh, I want to go there."
You'll have all these great stories, then they'll be like, "We got to go to Albion now."
Of course.
There you go.
And I know so many people.
And you'll be able to show everyone around, and that's great. So, a pretty common podcast question that I have for my guests is, what are your connections and your story to Albion? So I'd like to approach it a little bit differently with you and kind of ask, when did you first learn about Albion? Do you remember when you first heard that there were sister cities?
Yeah. So I first learned about Albion when my mother wanted to host Americans.
Okay.
And it was the first. And after I see the ladies who are in charge of the Albion sister city between Noisy and Albion. So I did a few meetings and I meet a few people. And that's why I learned about Albion. It was a great point because I never heard that a city can be linked like that to another city in two different continents. And it's great to just match all the things.
Yeah. So jumping around a little bit then, what does it mean then to have a sister city connection?
I think the meaning of sister city connections is just linked to cities and have the opportunity to mix two cultures and to understand the point of view of both different cultures, and maybe to mix it at the end to think about it and to change our own cultures.
That's pretty cool. So you're doing an internship.
Yep.
And you've been here for almost a month, and you're working with the chamber. So what has your role really looked like then, working with the chamber?
My role in the chamber is bringing another point of view, a French point of view. So, and asking so many questions that people can really focus and second time on what's projects. And it's also just meeting people and being. It's also because the Chamber of Commerce, it's also a visitor bureau. So I have to understand the visitor part and to be like someone who goes to Albion and just visit the town and what will be my experience of visiting the town will be the good points and the bad points. That's also one of the things that I do during my internship.
It's always nice, I think, when visitors are able to come into town, especially for long extended periods, to then be able to share those perspectives so the community itself can grow. And so because we're so used to like seeing it every day or interacting with it, like we don't know what it's like to come in from a fresh point of view. So I guess like with that in mind, what are some of the biggest things that you've noticed about our community since you've been here?
About the community, I would say that the links between each people, like everyone knows everyone. It's crazy because it's such a huge town, but it's not a lot of people. It's just the same size from people at Noisy. But the town is so huge, like everything is far. And the main street is obviously Super Street. And this street is really important in the community. And but we don't have to forget about the other streets also because people have commerce on the other part of Albion. But I think the most important part is the link between people. Like they all smile to each other, even if they don't know each other, they wave. It's really fun. I like it.
Yeah. Is it a bit different than France then?
Yeah, it is. Because we don't really know each other even in my town. Because I don't know, when it's as smiling as here, because everyone smiles. It's really enjoyable to be here.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, it's like holidays.
So I guess I'm focusing a little bit more personally for you then. What are your plans for when you return to France?
When I return to France, I have to work because I'm in prep school.
Okay.
So it's basically 2 years of preparation for attending a college by exams. So we prepare this exam for 2 years. So it's quite a big exam, and I don't want to fail it. So when I come to France, I will just study during 1 year, and also share my point of view about Albion, of course, for my parents and even my friends, because some of my friends already see some American that I host. And enjoy that part. So I would like to share my history about Albion, and maybe to with this history to help me for the future, and why not tell to other people about Albion and the sister city community, because I never heard in other towns about the sister city links, and I think it's also great for. And not only my city, but also other cities in France or even in USA.
So I know what part of what the chamber really wanted to emphasize as you were visiting here was making sure that you went and saw other chamber members and experienced other parts of our community, even the greater Albion area. What are some of those like field trips that you've gone on or are going to go on?
I see a couple of things. Like my schedule was full from this month, and I have luck to go to a few shops in Albion, but also in other towns like Homer and Jackson. And it was great to see how those business build here, and the links between the chamber and the others business, because I never seen a link like that, and People want to help each others, and also the chamber, because the main role of the chamber is to help businesses to grow. And this is really interesting. So I saw many backgrounds, and I was really enjoyed to see it. And what else? Yeah, I think that's the main point with the chamber. But, yeah.
So I know that you've done more than just work. Like the
Yeah, also, yeah, I always talk about work. We saw many things, like we went to Jackson to eat Coney dog. Like the main thing is Coney dog.
Yep.
So it was an experience. Like American food, you have good points, also other points. Maybe bad.
Oh boy, what are your other points then for the American food?
American food is like we mixed everything, and it's always too sweet, too fat,
Too sweet for you, yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but it's good to enjoy different culture. Maybe the food is not the best part. Because I like also to be in the equestrian center.
Okay.
So the equestrian center is linked to Albion College. So having just an equestrian center linked to a college is like huge. And the opportunity for the students is great. And I also been to the Albion College, like for a trip in Albion College, and it was really interesting to see all the different buildings, because you have so many buildings. It's just one college. The college is huge, like it's a big part of the city, and you can go to a swimming pool, you can go to a track, to also the equestrian center, and all the class and the teachers should be really interesting to talk with the teachers. So I think it's really interesting, the different point of view between those college in Albion and also my college.
Right. So like, how is that really different then? Like comparatively, Albion College is pretty huge.
Yep, it is.
And it's not even like the biggest university or anything over here. Surprisingly, like Albion College is a small college for
you
for the U.S. Yeah. So like, is that like one of the biggest differences you've noticed?
Yeah, this is the main differences, and also we are not really in France. We are not really linked between college and sports.
Okay.
Because it's two different infrastructures.
Oh, okay.
And it's really hard to have some money to attend this college due to your sports results. It's not really common for us, like, at all.
Okay.
So the best part of Albion College is having a sports center, like where you can do sports and also doing your work. So it's amazing, like mixing the both. And it's always been my dream to be like an athlete, and also to be working at my college in the same place. It's great.
An athlete and a student.
Yeah.
That's what your dream is. Yep.
Yeah, it is my dream. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you're studying for your big exam, and you're going to, like, that itself is much different than over here. Like we have. Like we take the SAT or the ACT when we were in high school. So in that like grade school, we take those just to see how we score, and colleges like review those scores to accept us or not. But you're like studying for multiple years and it's try to get into the university of like specific field, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what field are you trying to get into?
So I'm in science field.
Okay.
Much more about mathematics.
Okay.
My point. And so I will attend a college after those 2 years of prep school.
Okay.
We can fail the last year, like the second year we can fail it.
Okay.
So we do it again and do it a third year.
Okay.
To pass the exam second time. So my main college that I want to attend is ENS, so ENS.
Okay.
So basically, just I want to be a math teacher,
Okay.
and it's the biggest college to be a math teacher or a teacher of any kind. So it's my goal. And the way we are, just 2 or 3 years to just pass an exams, and we just you don't really want to attend the 100%. It's just you want to be better than everyone.
Okay.
That's
You just
the
want to
main
make sure you pass. You're getting in. Yep. That's interesting how much different it is than over here.
Really different.
So for you to get into that higher education then, like, is it only based on if you pass or fail that exam?
Yep.
So like over here, like, yes, SAT scores, ACT scores, those are all like very considered.
Yeah, okay.
They're important. But then like there's so much more to your applications. Like you're applying with like essays or like showing your academics and like your other involvements. Colleges love to see like what else you're involved in. So like doing sports in high school, being in clubs in high school, like those types of things. So it's interesting how different the focus is.
Because first it's only the grades that you have for one exam, but this exam can be really long. Like for one school, so one college, this exam can take 1 week just to do the exams.
Wow. Yeah.
It's not based at all on your background, and even if you took sports and everything like that, they don't really care about it. I think it's a negative point for France and the French system about high schools and college. But yeah, I would like to have an athlete sport also included in that to attend college, but no, we don't have.
So are there any other like cultural differences that you've noticed overall from visiting?
From visiting, yeah, I would say because Albion is huge, you take your car everywhere and you drive everywhere. So that's the main difference, because when I'm in Noisy, my town, I like to go from walk somewhere in Noisy to just visit and go for a walk. And it's much more harder here, even if you can do it. But I don't see so many people in the street, maybe because it's the holiday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that part of like why we drive more is that like our cities aren't always set up to be walkable.
Yeah.
Like if you visit our bigger cities like Detroit, or if you visit Philadelphia, New York, those are all set up in more of a form of like, oh, it makes sense for me just to walk a few blocks.
I went to Detroit during my trip.
Okay.
It was great.
Yeah.
Because it's totally different from Albion. But it was a great experience, and you can walk everywhere.
You
so
can.
I like it.
Yeah. You can walk everywhere, or there's like public transportation options. That's
because
huge.
here you don't have so many public transportation, like only the train.
And then it's not like the train takes you anywhere in Albion. Like
yeah, you can only go to Chicago or Detroit with the train. And when you are in the town, like even my little town, Noisy, you can go to Versailles and after to go to Paris. And when you are in Paris, you can go everywhere in France. So yeah, it's great. So you can use your public transportation and not only your car. So it's a great point also.
So then to wrap up a little bit, what do you hope for the future of our sister city connections?
I would say for the future that we should have more links, because it's great to just visit towns and towns. And we'll have to have more projects together, and I don't know, to create big things like to compete between each cities for, I know, maybe environmental causes or even just other events. Yeah, it could be great. Like because we have left because the sister city committee started in 1998, and it's been more than 25 years. And it's great, like, we have to go further with
we can do more.
We can do more. It's great.
Yeah,
always it's great.
But change and growth is always, it's always wanted and needed.
Evolve.
So.
Evolve.
We just got to evolve for our sister city
and
connection.
we can absolutely do it,
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. That's it for this episode of Brick by Brick. We'll be back with more stories from the heart of Albion. Until then, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep building Albion's future.